Well, if you think 2020 was the year Ellen was really going to go through it, think again. It seems 2021 has proven to be a tougher year for the daytime talk show host, and we're only 5 months in. Gonna be a long 2021 for the E-Meister. That's right, I called her the E-Meister because I'll never have a chance to be on her show, so she can't play these clips back to me and call me out. I mean, she's definitely getting like another Netflix show at some point, and I'll probably be on that, like, you know, David Letterman did. But anyways, that's not the point, guys. Today, it's all about Ellen DeGeneres after it was announced that she'll be ending her show in 2022. However, it seems there's much more to the story than just that the show will be ending. As we know, last year she was called out for a toxic workplace environment, as well as just being a mean person, as per numerous Twitter users' experiences with her. So they say. We're talking all about it right now on IO. Smash that like button and let's get into things. So a little recap of what happened with Ellen. It all seemed to have started back in February of 2020 when Nikki Tutorials, who was on the show, would admit things weren't as great as she had hoped for. Well, on a local talk show, Nikki would explain that Ellen was cold and distant when the cameras weren't rolling and that she couldn't use the closest bathroom because it was reserved for the Jonas Brothers. That would piss me off. All in all, people were shocked to hear that maybe the Ellen Show and the host aren't what meets the eye. Of course, prior to this, Ellen had been involved in some controversies or headlines, most notably when she was seen at a football game next to former President Bush, laughing, or her little on-air awkward situation with Dakota Johnson when she was invited to the birthday party, but she didn't get the invitation and then she lied. You guys know. Then in March, a comedian, Kevin T. Porter, takes to Twitter with a now viral tweet reading, I quote, "Right now we all need a little kindness, you know, like Ellen DeGeneres always talks about. She's also notoriously one of the meanest people alive." Respond to this with the most insane stories you've heard about Ellen being mean, and I'll match everyone with $2 to @LA Food Bank. At the time of this recording, it's been retweeted over 17,000 times, liked over 69,000 times, nice, and has over 2,000 replies. Within 2 days, Kevin would follow up that he'd be donating a total of $600 to the food bank, meaning there was about 300 stories. However, he couldn't verify which were real or not. Either way, people continued to comment about their past stories or experiences, including a waitress who claimed Ellen allegedly complained to the restaurant's manager that the waitress's nail polish was a little chipped. I mean, that's a little out of hand, no pun intended. Trying to brush things off, Ellen would make a joke on her show on April 6th, comparing her lockdown or stay-at-home experience to jail, which, I mean, that didn't sit well with fans or Twitter users either, who felt the joke was incredibly insensitive. What can you do? Then later in April, it'd be reported that Ellen's employees were being left in the dark about whether or not they'd be continuing working or if they would be getting paid. Although a handful of Ellen's original crew continued to work with her while filming out of her house, the show hired an external company as well. Warner Brothers released a statement claiming that all of Ellen's employees would be getting paid adequately, however at a reduced total amount of hours per week, but employees still felt that Ellen wasn't living up to her be kind persona, as she wasn't doing as much as it seemed other hosts, such as Jimmy Kimmel, was doing for their employees. Things would go from bad to worse when there would be accusations of a toxic workplace, and Warner Media would launch an internal investigation to determine whether the numerous claims against people working at the Ellen Show were legitimate. Following the investigation, 3 producers would be fired after accusations of foul play, with 2 of 3 denying the claims. Ellen would then write a letter to the staff members saying she was, I quote, disappointed to learn about how people felt on set and cited the team's growth as not being able to stay on top of things herself. Of course, this led to rumors that her show would be coming to an end. However, those rumors were quickly put to rest. Ellen would address the allegations and misconduct on air during the September season premiere of the show, which was also her first show after a summer hiatus back at the studio. Her show included a piece in which Ellen explained, I quote, I learned that things happened here that should have never happened. I take that very seriously. I want to say that I'm so sorry to the people who were affected. I know that I'm in a position of privilege and power, and I realize with that comes responsibility. And I take responsibility for what happens at my show. This is the Ellen DeGeneres Show. We've had a lot of conversations over the last few weeks about the show, our workplace, and what we want for the future. We have made the necessary changes, and today we are starting a new chapter. It seemed Ellen was here to stay and for good. Things continued on, she had some other controversies, then she got COVID in December, leading to a short break from the show. Upon her return in January 2021, it seemed like things were going back to normal for her. And now it seems like her show is coming to an end, after 19 seasons on air. Of course, the biggest question on everyone's mind was, did last year's controversy have anything to do with the decision? Sitting down with The Hollywood Reporter, Ellen explained in depth how everything went down, and it seems like this decision was actually a long time coming. Back in 2018, Ellen had admitted that prior to signing a 3-year deal with Warner Brothers, her wife Portia was encouraging her to move on from the show. Ellen's brother and the Warner Brothers executives, however, were hoping she'd sign on yet again. As we know, she did, but it's been 3 years, and it seems when she signed, it was clear that would be the last time. She originally explained how she wanted to stop after 16 seasons, and they tried to get her to sign on for 4 more years. However, she was willing to only sign on for 1. In the end, they agreed to a 3-year deal. As Warner Brothers explained, they need to give the stations more of a commitment than a 1-year deal for a show. When asked if she had wavered on the idea of ending the show, Ellen explained when they did episode 3000 and everyone was all emotional, Mike Darnell, a producer, asked if she really wanted to end the show, to which she said, as hard as it will be, yes. After explaining as a creative person, you constantly want to challenge yourself, citing her going back to stand-up comedy and hosting the Oscars, she explained, I quote, "I just need something to challenge me, and as great as this show is, and as fun as it is, it's just not a challenge anymore. I need something new to challenge me." But when specifically asked about the allegations and controversy she was involved in the past year and how it affected her decision, Ellen explained, I quote, "It almost impacted the show. It was very hurtful to me. I mean, very. But if I was quitting the show because of that, I wouldn't have come back this season." She mentioned how at first she thought the stories of people having to chew gum before speaking to her was funny, but then things got out of hand. She didn't want to address them and figured they'd just go away, but as we know, they didn't. In fact, they actually snowballed and got much worse. Now, following her interview with The Hollywood Reporter on May 12th, well, it seems the next day on May 13th, while on the Today Show, her first time on air since making the announcement, Ellen explained how she felt about the workplace allegations made against her. When asked by Today host Samantha Guthrie, I quote, "Did you feel like you were being canceled?" Ellen explained, I quote, "I felt like somebody had some kind of, I really didn't understand it. I still don't understand it. It was too orchestrated. It was too coordinated. People get picked on, but for 4 months straight for me to read in the press about a toxic work environment when all I've ever heard from every guest that comes on my show is what a happy atmosphere this is and what a happy place it is, I don't know how I could have known when there's 255 employees here and there are a lot of different buildings. Unless I literally stayed here until the last person goes home at night." With all that being said, Ellen did also explain how she wished she had known about the issues from her own staff rather than learning about it through the media. I quote her saying, "I do wish somebody would have come to me and said, hey, something is going on that you should know about." Now, lover or hater, you gotta admit, Ellen has done some incredible things over the years and will forever go down in history. 19 seasons, it's a little strange, but hey, it is what it is. Even she mentioned that, saying how when she signed on for 3 more years, they were like, this is gonna be 19 seasons, just do 20. And she was like, no, let's leave it at 19. Let us know your thoughts on this one down below, guys. For now, let's do some comment replies from the video. Top 10 influencers who warned us about Ellen DeGeneres. SD said, "I bet these influencers are saying, 'I told you so' to Ellen right now." Probably. They're probably like, "I knew it, I told you so." But influencers are so, I think everyone online is very self-righteous nowadays. So it's like they just love to be right and they just rub that in when they are right. And it's like, even when they're wrong, they're right. So the gingerbread man said, "I just want to join the witch hunt. I liked her, but it's fun to join the bandwagon to hate someone." That explains the internet so well with a lot of what happens on a daily basis with anything that's trending. Like, it's people just see something and jump on it. They don't have to fact check anything. They don't check sources, nothing. They just see something and they're like, let's go. Wild, wild west, folks. Welcome to the internet. Fatima Perez said, "It makes you wonder if her love of gorillas is real." I actually saw a tweet that no, I'm just kidding. I'm sure she loves gorillas. I don't know, they're pretty vicious though. Like, I love all animals, but I don't know, gorillas are kind of scary. Anyways, guys, that's all for this one. I've been your boy Pepper, and we'll see you guys again soon. Gonna be a long 20. Why do I write this? Just taking a breath, man. The start of that video just got under my skin, man. Holy creaky floor too, man. Really pisses me off sometimes. Never know when I can focus here.